Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently desperately needing to core, and we're just basically chilling while we're coring here. We need a lot of admin power. We're currently going up by... Fars, what are you doing? Get out of here. Wow, look how small they are. They're so tiny. They're teeny tiny now. Okay, that's interesting. Everybody still wants to elect Fars, of course, but I want to conquer them. Now is not the time to do that, but I do want to conquer them. And I'm currently thinking about... So I really want to focus admin right now. The main problem is we're only getting 5 diplomatic power per month right now. And this would bring it down to 4. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to focus admin here. I'm also tempted to promote this guy. It would be expensive, but I'm tempted to do so. Very tempted. So we're making 11 admin power, and we're actually still at 5 diplomatic power per month. That's remarkable. Interesting. No, rabbis, get out of here. Okay, so at this point, what we want to do is we really want to get these cores made. France is calling us in against Ancona. Fars will protect them. I'm just looking at the list of allies here. So we can fight Ancona, no problem. France will also help out over here. So at this point, oh, they just waited until the truce wore out. So they're going to fight Savoy. That's going to be France's top priority, probably. They're allied with Athens. Don't really care. Makva. Where is Makva? Oh, I see them. Right up over here. Okay, so that's fine. They'll probably try to attack Lika immediately. And then Paphlagonia, which I think is somewhere out over here. Let's see. Paphlagonia? These guys. Okay. And Fars will protect them. I don't care about Fars. Actually, I do care about Fars. I want to take them over. I doubt that France will give that to us, but I'm going to accept this. We are now at war. So, we've got these guys down over here. They're not fully built up yet. I still want to put some resources into getting that up to the correct size. There we go. But I want to take these 2 armies, and I want to have them immediately run at Fars. I also want to have these 2 armies prepare to fight up here. The main issue here is we have low morale, and Ancona has an army right here. So I want to pull back a little bit over here. We'll give that a month tick or 2. And that should be fine. So these guys are going to be regenerating. There's revolutionaries right here. And we don't have access here. So if they walked into us while we were drilling, that could be a problem. But for right now, this is fine. So we're not going to drill there. I think we will drill down here, though, for the time being. These armies are going to be responsible to come up here once these are done recruiting. Actually, no. I'm going to leave these drilling. They're still pretty low on their drill. These guys are pretty high on their drill. So I'm going to have these be responsible for coming up to attack Paphlagonia, like this. Okay, so that's the overall idea for this one. Okay, so they're just kind of running around over here for now. We're giving it a month tick or 2. I want to move in over here. We're keeping an eye on these guys. Lose 100 ducats. We gained a base manpower. I don't want to lose 100 ducats. Okay, I also don't want to attack there. I want to run right at their army. So if we can eliminate their army, that's a huge deal. So we're going to do exactly that. And yeah, as expected, they were attacking right up over here. That's deeply unsurprising. It's only a level 2 fort, and we're just going to catch these guys right up over here. This battle is going to happen on 20 November. We're locked into it. I was going to stop and have this be after the month tick, but even with low morale, we outnumber them 4-1. It's probably fine. Right? Yeah, it's fine. So France has got this probably under control, if I had to guess. We barely won that. And this is a fort I want to head out over here. We're going to need to siege both of these forts. So that's all fine. That's absolutely understood. There's a revolutionary army between us and Fars. Okay, that seems fine. And we're just going to continue to push up over there. This revolutionary army is just kind of chilling here for right now. Okay. So we're at 149 admin power. That seems okay. People are leaving the military coalition, and we're losing money at this moment. This is probably revolutionary ideas. Rude. This is probably because, well, actually, I'm just looking at Fars here. How weak are they? Very. Okay. They have 22k. Are they in multiple wars? They are. They're fighting the Golden Horde. We should start up a siege here. There's a level 9 fort. It's going to take a long time, but we can actually siege it. So the Golden Horde will occupy here, but we will occupy here. If Fars ceases to exist from this, I will be delighted. That would be very, very good. Now, this is a level 8 fort. Do we actually need 2 units here? These guys are walking in here. They're locked into this. They're exposed. These guys are a long ways away. And we haven't made progress on this fort yet. I think we prioritize fighting Paphlagonia here. Okay, so we've occupied down here. That's all well and good. Golden Horde is going to occupy here. So that seems okay for now. So we don't need to have all of these forts up, right? We can mothball a number of these. So we can mothball these along here. We can almost certainly mothball these over here. I'm going to mothball this one, but I'm going to retain this fort to control access coming up like this. Sinai, I don't believe that we will need. This fort we should need. This fort is probably useful. This fort is not, I don't think. So we'll mothball this. These forts should not be useful now that we've dealt with this army, so that seems okay. We've occupied here, and we can try to go occupy here, but it's pretty likely Navarra will beat us there. That's okay. So what other forts do we not need up here? This fort shouldn't be necessary. In theory, we shouldn't need the fort in Venice, but I'll leave it for now. So that'll save us some money, and that should be enough to bring us back positive. So this battle is occurring, and we can see they're trying to run around and deal with this, but they are rolling badly. That was a huge win for us. We just stack wiped a 50k stack. So that happened. And now we can catch this 21k stack. Khazaria entered into a military coalition? Sure, whatever. I don't care. So actually, Golden Horde left here, but we can't go here because of the zone of control, and they're on their way back in. So it just stack wiped another unit there. I don't suppose we can walk here. No. Okay. Fair enough. It was a good opportunity, and we took it. So that's great. I would want to start annexing these guys. I'm just going to improve relations with them. We need more diplomatic power, right? So that's understood. It's very soon, or actually now, that we're behind time in these technologies. So we need to work on that. But we still got a core. We still got a core. So that's understood. Fars is going to be out of this war very soon. There's very little that they can do. So that's all great. This siege is over. That sounds fantastic. Let's walk back over and start these guys drilling again. We do have this army over here that is good to go now, and that seems wonderful. So we have multiple armies that are currently in reserve. I was tempted to attack this Athenian army here, but I think for the time being, I'm more interested in sieging. Okay, people are leaving the coalition against us. That's very good. Okay, a new heir to the throne. That's pretty okay stats. 522. That's better across the board. Better or the same across the board than what we have. So I'm okay with that. And he's even 16. So that's really nice. He's of age. I like it. So the war with the Golden Horde is over. They took this territory from Fars. Fars is basically a rump state at this point. So that's glorious. And at this point, we can start up another coring going here. I definitely want to do that. Let's get a core going. That'll be very important. Ah, they're fighting us here. We need to head up, and I'm actually going to force march in. It will cost military power, but that's okay. I'm going to force march in to reinforce this. There we go. We successfully defended that. And now we're going to regular walk back out, but with this army. They need to reinforce. So actually, these guys were on the way in. They decided not to. I don't like the numbers that they've got here. I'm just going to stack everybody on this fort. For the time being. That'll be fine. So this fort over here is at 0%. We're making progress there. The Paphlagonian fort here, it's at 7%. It'll go down eventually. Eventually. But our reinforcements are costing us money. And that's absolutely understood. We're at 49% up over here. I'm assuming Savoy's probably fully occupied or very close to it. So this war will be over pretty soon, and we'll see if we get anything out of it other than a perpetuation of our alliance with France. Is Portugal in this? No, they're not. Okay. That kind of surprises me. So the siege of Perugia is now over, and I want to move these guys on down. We're also done with this French siege over here, so that looks good. And that's the primary war goal, I believe. So we really need this Farsi siege to go away. That's at 42%. We did lose our leader here. I didn't notice that happening. Wow, those are good stats. 5541? Those are really good stats. That's an insane leader right there. Okay. Could be better on the siege pips, but that was amazing. So we just finished up this siege, and now I'm going to move one of these units in here. Okay, so Fars is now out of this war, and we can start pulling these forces back to the north. Okay, the revolution won over here. That's understood. So who was pieced out? Fars? Okay. I mean, we got 100 ducats out of it. I'm not going to call that great. But what we need more than anything is admin power, so it's fine. Who pieced out this time? Ancona? Sure. Oh, the whole war is over. So that's great. We'll move these guys back down over this way and mothball our forts. We're delighted that the war is over. So I want to get these guys back to drilling. There we go. And these guys never stopped drilling. Perfect. So, we still need to core. This is a lot of admin power. No doubt about that. It's a crazy amount of admin power. So I want you there, and then I want you here. That'll do. We don't want these guys too stacked up, after all. And you can start drilling, and you can start drilling. And then I want you to just stop in, like, Mecca. That'll be fine. So they're now in different locations. That's a big deal. We can seize land, and this is a good time to do so, so we will definitely do that. I would love to make another core here. We really need to get this going, though. We have to get this overextension dealt with. Okay, so we'll get this army drilling. Perfect. And what's our current situation on the corruption? Oof. Oh, all centers of revolution are removed. Wow. So much for the revolution. Okay, I like it. That's good. So at this point, what we need to do is... Why would this counting house not make us any money? Where is this? Raba. Here. Why would a counting house not make any money here? That's weird. I'm going to build it. I suspect it will make money. So let's do that. That should be fine. We do need to handle our corruption, of course. And our corruption is currently 0.22 from overextension. So I want to just directly counter that. Right there. Okay. So we've just got some passive corruption reduction from our positive stability, and that's it, as of right now. So we could lose the stability or 100 dip power. Oh. Okay. Both are really rough. I'm going to choose the dip power, and I'm going to regret it. That's incredibly rough. No doubt about it. So we got to get this overextension handled. That's a big deal. It's a big, big deal. So we need 243 admin power to core Jabal Shamar, and that's a very, very big deal for us. Yeah, we got to get that going just ASAP. We do have this counting house building, and we should theoretically be switching around. What are we spending our money on? Fort maintenance. I mothballed all the forts, right? Yes. So what else are we spending the money on? I mean, naval maintenance. We could cut our navy maintenance. Honestly, yeah, I'm going to do that. So for now, that's fine. We need to be making some money. We'll get this core going very, very shortly here. We need just a couple more months on this. We're making 11 admin power per month right now. So that looks fine. We got to get this core done. There we go. And then we got to get this core done. And we're behind time in our technologies. And Portugal wants us to fight Maghreb and the HRE. Okay, but we're getting very little out of these wars, and that's not great. So we're going to put a new general in here. These guys are going to immediately head in and begin sieges here and here. And then the HRE. So we'll head up and begin sieges up here. Is France in this? Yes. Okay, so the HRE shouldn't be a huge threat, as long as they don't immediately run down and stack wipe our units when they're at low morale. So we, of course, have re-upped our fleet maintenance naturally, and we got to cut our rooting out of corruption. There's no way around it. We just have to do it. Okay, so those sieges are underway. We've got these guys just chilling down over here for right now. So all of these armies are idle, and that's okay. We want them that way. So that seems good. And then, of course, Portugal has troops up here for some reason. Okay. So we're mostly going to let France and Portugal fight these. We'll do a siege of Modena, and we'll head on over this way. Yeah, there's definitely some large HRE forces around here. They've got a lot of troops right now, and they're ignoring the French incursions. 400,000. Okay. I'm going to go pick up some reinforcements. I'm going to stop this siege, and we're going to walk over this direction. We can only afford to do one of these sieges. We can't even afford to do this one. Wait, we can't even force march out of here? 11 and 11. Same day. I think we can force march out. Nope. We were not able to force march out. Remarkable. Okay, so we retreated. That's okay. The French will handle this eventually. But that was really unfortunate timing. So we have this force down over here. We need to get these guys to stop drilling for the time being, and we're going to reinforce up over here. So we're just going to bring these on up to Italy. So we retreated to here, and the HRE is going to take this back pretty quickly, in theory. So we need to group these units together, and I want to stay on the boat a little bit later, I think. So we're going to want to have the boats bring us all the way up over here. So there's a lot of French and Portuguese troops in this region. Unfortunately, they took this back just as we arrived, but that's okay. So the Portuguese moved in over here. And here's the idea. I'm going to move 2 armies into each of these locations for right now. Okay. So that'll do for the moment. We should be able to get this taken back pretty quickly, and we just need to hold this for now. So the HRE, we see a lot of their forces went up over this way, and that looks good. I don't really want to hold all of these forces here, so we're going to step back a little bit. And we'll just do something like this for right now. Less attrition this way. So that looks fine, and down over here, we are certainly making progress. So these sieges are going nicely. We won the Siege of Modena again, and we won Parma instantly. That's actually a big deal. Okay, I'm going to send one army out this direction, and the other army up this direction. So we'll do something like this. Now, they're almost certainly going to respond to this, right? Now, they're still invading France, and they're looking to fight the French incursion up here. So that looks good. I mean, they don't really have a way to win this, to be clear. Now, I'm going to drop our fleet maintenance back down to nil. We are not looking to do any naval engagement right now. We need to not go into debt. That's our current mission. So we must protect our trade, Portugal. Sorry, I know you're going to be upset about that. I'm going to improve relations to try to smooth that over. So that'll be fine. And let's see here what we've got going on in... What was I going to look at? Oh, our coring. I was going to look at our coring. So, okay. All of our major overextension causing cores are done. That's a very big deal. So we'll just scooch around over this way. Occupying some territory up over here. Denmark just gave us 4,000 ducats. What? Why'd you do that, Denmark? I mean, I'm glad, but I guess they just really want to support people who are fighting the HRE. Okay. We'll take it. That's very useful. So, this is interesting here. I want to pursue that. The Portuguese are already on it, but we finished up this siege here. I want to move our troops in here and help out the Portuguese. Okay. So we won a battle somewhere. Actually, don't know where. Oh, it was this battle. Sure. That's fine. So we'll siege this back, and we'll just continue to work on grabbing some of this territory out over here. We're in a pretty safe position as of right now, so that seems fine. And we can make this into a full core, which I would be delighted to do. We'll get these cores completed, and this siege is over, so I want to work on taking more territory out over here. Beautiful. So there's Venice back under control. We can go take Verona. That'll be fine. So we've got all that money. How do we want to spend it? Manufactories, if we can. Once again, we're not getting a production of cash in Raba. What's going on with that? This is our core, but we would want to make it into a full core. Maybe it's because it's a territorial core? No, this is a full core. Wait, I'm confused now. Why is our production at 0? Local autonomy is modifying this by minus 56.9%. That's intriguing. The trade value is just 0. All of these are percentage modifiers. So why is the trade value here 0? Is this just because of the devastation? Yeah, it's because of the devastation. Okay, so that'll get under control eventually. So that's fine. That means that it is a good thing for us to build manufactories there. So that's okay. We can also build universities, but apparently we can't. And we can't build town halls either. So for now, we'll just sit on this money, and that seems good. Okay, so the Siege of Hodna is over. That was this down over here. And we want to push in over this direction next. Looks like Portugal is heading into Constantine, so I'm just going to head up over here. Okay, so we're occupying a bunch of provinces out over here. I want to push out this direction. And there's a lot of occupation happening over here right now. We won the Siege of Kef, and that's perfect. So Maghreb in this area is going to be occupied. There's nothing over here either. Okay. So that's noted. If Portugal wants to actually take territory here, they declared directly on Maghreb. So if they want to take territory here, they can't, because they can't core any of this. We took the coastal provinces. That wasn't intentional, but it was convenient. Maybe they're planning to take, like, the Canary Islands, Madeira, or the Azores. Maybe. That's a distinct possibility. But for right now, I don't care. It's fine. They can do whatever they want there. So we're just going to continue to push over this direction. I'd like to siege here. We won Turin, and that, of course, means I'm going to bring these guys back home. So I'm going to bring them back over the water. We don't need them to be pushing out over this way. France has got this under control. We don't need more armies here. So we're going to send them home and get them drilling. So back we go. You should be drilling. Okay, those two are drilling. Perfect. These two, at this point, they can go home as well and start drilling. Okay, Portugal, I'd like it if you didn't stand right where I want to be. I guess we'll go here instead. It's okay. Okay, so there we go. That's all under control. Is this our trade fleet? Yeah, that's our trade fleet. Okay. So we're at 78 admin power right now, and our sieges are progressing slowly. Very slowly. We can set an agenda here, and I'd like to do so. Base tax in Yanbu. Base manpower in Yafo. I feel like that's the one that we can do most easily, and we do need the manpower. So we'll just bump that up twice. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that seems fine for now. We are going to want to take back Lika eventually, but there's a bunch of forts out over here, and we would definitely like to occupy those. So we'll need to push down over here. This fort will need to fall before we can push further, but I expect this war will be over pretty soon. So that looks fine. It is, however, time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll wrap up this war and see what we get out of it. Probably very little. France is getting a lot out of these wars, and we're kind of not, so there's that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.